There's something feminists always do. They always pretend that all the issues in the world are being caused by men. And the moment you try to point them to women causing problems or women committing crimes or women doing terrible things, they pretend it doesn't exist. I think that's the fundamental problem with feminism, like the new age feminism, because I understand there is need to fight for equality and all those things. That's a valid fight. But right now, feminists have become people that just pretend that every bad thing can just be traced back to a man. The moment you remind feminists that women commit crimes too and women do terrible things too, they immediately lose it. And this is one of those examples. Now, this was a really interesting podcast. I really enjoyed it and I recommend it for anyone who is interested in long form content. It's about 2 hours, 40 minutes long, and I mean, you could listen to it while you're doing other stuff. It's really interesting and you could learn a lot. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the parts of the podcast that stood out to me. And these parts really illustrates the issues with feminism, with modern feminism. Because like I said earlier, it's fine if women are fighting for their rights because women are being oppressed in so many places. So it's not an absurd idea. So no one really has a problem with women fighting for their rights. I mean, it's their rights to do that. So I mean, more power to them. But when we skip that and just start hating on men, that's a whole different thing, and I think it needs to be addressed. Before we begin, I would like to humbly ask that you like the video and subscribe to the channel if you like stuff like this. We're trying to get to 500 subs, so I think it will be really great if you help make that into a reality. So thank you very much for subscribing and liking the video. So let's get to the podcast.
Okay, so I don't believe that evil has a gender or have a gender.
True.
Evil doesn't. So with my work with men, at least 7 out of 10 men I deal with that have either masturbation problem, substance abuse, and other issues that they have, we try to trace it back to where it started. It's usually one auntie, one senior sister friend did something to me.
Sexually
abused them, sexually abused them as children.
I don't know if you've noticed this, but anytime a man talks about being raped or being sexually abused, the society dismisses it almost immediately. Generally, I wouldn't say it's a stretch to say that is really how the society treats a male rape case. That's just what I've noticed, and I'm sure you've noticed something like that. So you can tell me if you think different in the comment section. But I'm sure it's a common experience. Every time a man is talking about being raped or being sexually abused, it's dismissed or it's being implied that he enjoyed it, so it doesn't really matter. But these things happen. I know a few people that this thing has happened to, and you wouldn't expect the frequency of the occurrence of this stuff. So many people have this experience, but because they are men, the society tends to ignore it and pretend that their experiences don't matter. And even this podcast, she totally ignores that point and just pretend it doesn't happen. And that's just the beginning of the mental gymnastics feminist pull to make themselves feel relevant. Because it's almost as if in the feminist handbook, a woman can do no wrong and a woman can never do no wrong, no matter the circumstances, no matter the context. The woman must always be the one right and pure, which is just absurd. That's just so far from reality.
Sexually abuse them as children, and so I don't believe evil has a gender. I think the evil that women do are done silently
and gracefully,
and that is why I think they are
now why would they catch them?
You understand? It's done silently. There are women that are putting a drop of sniper in their husband's food every day, killing him slowly.
Oh, is it poison?
The poison.
Yeah. Oh my
killing
God,
him slowly.
Poison, wow.
There are people that
So let me tell you a little story about this. A few months back, I went to watch one of my friends play football. So I had a chance to sit down with some dude. So we were just discussing and we started talking about marriage, and he told me about his friend that just died recently. And when they did the autopsy, it turns out that he was poisoned. It turns out he was poisoned gradually, little by little. So it turns out this thing has been going on for like, let's say, a year or two, where he was consistently getting more sick till he died. And it turns out he was being poisoned consistently the whole time by his wife. So when I heard this, it literally blew my mind, because I know I've heard stories like this before where women poison their husbands, but I didn't know it's happening. It happened so recently. It's crazy. I didn't think it's still happening, but it turns out it's still happening. So feminists love to claim that a man is the greatest risk to a woman's life, but men can make the same arguments too, because there are women out there killing men slowly over a period of 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, and it's happening. It's reality.
There's a case right now of what's his name, the TikToker, what's his name, Kyle, the TikToker that he got a deal of almost $1 billion, and then his wife decided to divorce him after. Okay, Kabi,
wow.
Right? His wife decided to divorce him, not knowing that he actually put the money on in his father's name. Now she learned about that and she wants to cancel the divorce. She has 10 million
Wow.
$10 million dollars, and he's to get 5 million right now from her.
Very
So she
good.
wants-
This is one of the most common stories out there. This what do they call it? There are some women that all they do is to look for the richest guys to get married to so that they can divorce him in the next 2-3 years and take half of his stuff and get the fuck out. That's a real thing that happens. It has ruined so many men. Like, I think Arsenal player Ebue, I think some years ago, Ebue, an Arsenal strike, I don't know what he was, but he was an Arsenal player. He got ruined by one of these tactics. So now that I brought up Arsenal, I think it's fair to say that, I mean, Arsenal we are the league champions, and the haters can kick rocks, and we knew you guys didn't want us to win anything this season, and we still did, so in your faces. So an Arsenal player that had all the money got ruined by one of these evil things women do, and like the society don't really talk about these things enough. It's that dangerous that someone with so much money, like footballers earn they earn everyone's dream income except billionaires though, but an average person's dream income is a footballer's income, and that footballer had that, but a woman brought him down. It's still very dangerous for men out there when relating with women. It's obviously still dangerous. So making this look like it's just men that do the evil things, it's just not reality.
Very
So she
good.
was- Hakimi did the same thing.
He pulled the Hakimi on her.
He put the Hakimi on her. So men are being targeted for their wealth. They are being targeted as children because, that's the most vulnerable states that they can be. So evil doesn't have a gender. That's why I believe if it was a matriarchy that was leading the world, we will still have the same problems, maybe in a different way, but the problems will be there. Now, I'm not attacking feminism. I'm not attacking patriarchy. I'm just saying that all of us as a people, we need to start creating systems that works for everybody.
I
And
agree
that's
with
the
that.
balance that I'm looking for.
So yeah, what Pharaoh said really made sense, and I think that's the right approach to look at these things, because you can't put the blame on, like you can't put all the sins of the world on one gender. It's because there are two genders, except the other gender is just norm and has no agency and it's like a fucking rock. Except that's what you're comparing women to.
Interesting. So I would love your take on this question. Who has it harder in modern dating, men or women? Pharaoh.
I'm looking at it right now. I honestly feel we both have it, hard. I can't even say who
But
has
there's
it
hard, there's
harder.
harder, and there's hardest.
I can't say who has it harder because there are burdens that are on women. There are also real, burdens on men.
In modern dating.
Yes. in
Are men
modern
risking
dating.
losing their lives in dating?
Yes, every day.
So every time a man goes on a date, is he scared that the woman might kill him after?
Okay, so in order
we
for me to
definitely bear that fear as
pay, in order
women.
for me to pay for that date, maybe I have to climb a pole and go and work. You remember that?
Wait, climb a pole? Why
you
do I climb a pole?
He's talking about the workers.
So yeah, I think this is it. It illustrates the mental capacity of feminists. They are very simplistic in their thinking. So she doesn't understand that given all these standards that women have put on men, men need to keep up. And for them to keep up, they have to work really hard. And sometimes working really hard is very dangerous. And we have to do it because these women would not have our time if we don't do it. So it's still dangerous either way. I understand that for a woman, she's more worried about the immediate danger, like the dangerous jobs I did to afford this whole thing for you still counts as danger. She just doesn't understand that. It's just like what I came to find out is that a lot of these feminists they are really not smart people. So they take complex ideas and mesh it up in their nonsense brains, and it comes out stupid. And you'll be wondering why they keep saying foolish things confidently, but it turns out that they're not very smart people. And that's what has been illustrated here. This is a simple analogy. It's obvious that if I had to do something dangerous to make this possible for 2 of us, I also risk my life to make this possible for 2 of us. Like, this interaction also took me to a place where I risked my life. It's not because that's the logic there, and I think it's really easy to understand. It's not rocket science. If a guy did something risky to be able to afford these bills that you keep asking for, he did something risky and he could have died. So it doesn't matter that you can't fight him. That's just one way that this relationship can pose a danger to him. There are other ways, and one of those ways is doing dangerous stuff, which most of the time a lot of men have to do so that they can get women's attention. So the fact that the danger is not immediate, the fact that the danger happened before we interacted doesn't mean it wasn't dangerous. And that thing just flew by her head, and you'd be wondering what goes on in this feminist head.
Work hazard.
Do you know that? Yes, I must be working for NEPA.
Yes.
And the hardest
Or-
job in this world are done by men.
Wow.
The STEM jobs.
I mean, the hardest
are
job is actually
STEM
giving birth to a child, actually. So that's done by women.
And you need a man to do
A woman
that.
brought you into the world and grew the bones.
You need
that
a
you
man
have
to
now.
do that.
A man's
You don't get
contribution is
yourself
only the
pregnant.
nuts.
You don't.
Have you met a man that's given birth before?
Men don't give birth.
Exactly. So he's
Okay.
not making the large part of the contribution. But
Okay,
finish
so
your point.
how is giving birth harder than every other aspect of things that men have to do? Like basically everything that makes
Is that what you're going to say to your mother when she talks about your birth story and tell
Yeah, you realize how she didn't address his points. He just started trying to pull an emotional card to make it look like he's insulting his mother. This is just so basic. Like, this tactics is just so basic. Usually when people don't have what to say in reply, they just start pulling things out of thin air just to score some emotional points or whatnot. No one thinks giving birth is like the easiest thing in the world. Everybody knows that our mothers went through a lot to give birth to us, and we thank them every day for that. But that doesn't mean we should immediately take all the things men do to make the society conducive for a woman to even have a place to give birth. You would take all those things men do, all the sacrifices, all the inventions, all the dangerous things, all the deep sea mining, all the underwater things we do, all the skyscrapers we are building, the technology we are inventing. It is not fair to just pretend that that's nothing. And that's what feminists do. They just pretend that all men's inputs is nothing, that the only important thing is stuff that women do. Really? Are you serious? Like, how's that even true?
My mom, always say the hard part of, giving birth and all of that. And I also watch a man that's my father, that's when I was 5, he got shot in the head. Luxurious boss, going to the east, trying to provide for the family. That is hard too. He suffered a head injury, and thank God he survived.
Thank God.
So I don't weigh the sacrifice of my mom over the sacrifice of my dad. They are equal to me because they equally made sure that we all came out good. We had the best of educations to the levels that we had to get, and I appreciate the both of them for it. They both supported each other and they supported the family, and we are all good. And I will be damned before I allow any girl to come into my life and feel like I'm the one that's supposed to just be, doing everything for her when she's not doing stuff for me.
I totally agree with what he said, and I think this is the right approach when relating with the opposite gender. I think the only families that worked are the families where both parties contributed their all to making sure that everything is in order. Because there's something nobody's telling you, but the divorce rates right now are over the roof. It's crazy. Divorce is so common nowadays, and I think part of the reasons is because women are beginning to have this mentality. You can't have a mentality that a man is supposed to be your slave and expect that man will sit down and be your slave because, he doesn't have a choice or a brain. Nobody's really going to take that, and that's why the divorce rates are like sky high, because we have these ideologies that just doesn't work. There's no way you would think I'm a slave and I'm doing everything. You don't even do anything. You don't cook, you don't clean. So I hustle all the money, I go to work, I come back to the house, I fix the gen, I mow the lawn, I do all the physical jobs, and still I cook and I clean and I wash stuff so that I get to have a wife. Like, nobody's going to agree to that. I'd rather just not do all those things. This whole new age feminist thing is just a recipe for chaos, because look at you now. Like, how would you expect someone to put up with that? Would you put up with that? Like, so and then a lot of the times these women that are feminists are always, gunning for the highest value man, and the man that has all the options. They expect that same man to put up with all this nonsense. It's just not going to happen. If you're trying to be honest and you're really trying to move forward, you quickly realize that the only way forward is if we work together, because that's how we got here. We got here by our ancestors, both men and women, working together. But then all of a sudden, feminists now think that that's not what was happening, that we've all been fighting each other since the beginning of time. That's not true. I don't think it's right to push the idea that men hate women. I don't think that's right, because that would assume that the majority of men hate women. And if the majority of men hated women, women would not have rights. The fact that women have rights today is a direct result of the benevolence of men. It's because men gave it to women. It's not that women fought for it. Like, when last did feminists physically fight for anything? They just complain and complain and complain. In societies where men said women don't have rights, women don't have rights. It's not like women have the ability to fight for their rights. It has never happened. Take a look at Afghanistan. Take a look at the Taliban. They just decided that their women are not going to have equal rights, and their women don't have equal rights, and their women cannot do anything about it. That's just what it is. The fact that women are free today, the fact that women are no longer in that place where women were thousands of years ago, when they were not even allowed to leave the house due to the environmental risk. The fact that women can now participate in the society is a direct consequence of the benevolence of men, because if men wanted to keep women there, they would have kept them there, and women would not really do anything about it. So pushing the idea that men hate women is just not true. It's not. History doesn't back that. The tampons that women use was invented by a man. So many things that help women significantly were all done by men. And generally, things that help us in life, like the cars, the cameras, the mic, the lights, the computers, they're all done by men, and women are still using these things and complaining about men. It's just outrageous. So no, I don't think men hate women. It's not true. Like, there's nobody a man loves more than a woman. Like, look at what men are doing for women. Go on social media, see what's going on, and ask yourself how many times a man has done that for a fellow man. So to pretend that after all these things, you can now pretend that men hate women somehow, like in a general sense, I don't think that's true at all, and I don't think anybody should be telling anybody that, because it's really not true. So yeah, I think this is a very good place to stop. Thank you very much for watching this far. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and see you guys in the next video. Peace.